Now moving on, and 3 farmers in Lincolnshire who've lost almost £200,000 worth of crops to flooding are calling for more support to deal with the effects of climate change.
2 months on from Storm Babet, hundreds of acres of farmland is still underwater. But without insurance, farmers have to take on the losses and say further storms could be catastrophic. Amelia Beckett reports.
It may look like a lake or even the sea, but this is actually farmland. 2 months on from Storm Babet, swathes of Lincolnshire's fields remain underwater, and the cost to farmers is rising.
The 200 acres of this farm should look exactly like this, lovely and green. This is young.
Henry had already planted crops across 200 acres of his farm when he flooded. This green patch is the only acre which survived.
So we're not insured. We're basically we are a factory without a roof. If it was a factory and it flooded, you get insurance. But because we are still producing food, but we're not insured, so we're expected to take this loss on the chin. If we have a wet spring, we might not get a crop in at all, and then I'm not going to get any income for a year, which is, I'm going to be well out of pocket.
Henry estimates he lost between £40,000 and £50,000 worth of crops in October's floods, but he's not alone. Down the road, Grange Farm estimates up to £70,000 worth of losses, and 2 miles on from there, a further £30,000 to £40,000 loss on David's farm, a loss he believes may have been avoidable.
The waterways around here are very engineered, and they have been for the last 250 years, and they're there for a purpose, which is to transport water in times of surplus out to the sea, and that's what the focus really needs to be on. I think over the last 25 years there's probably been too much focus on allowing vegetation to grow in them.
He now wants to work alongside the Environment Agency to help better manage these waterways, an idea backed by the NFU in a letter they've sent to the government, now signed by almost 2,000 farmers.
We're just picking up the pieces. We all need to work together. The low systems we're getting now seem to be more and more wet coming faster and quicker. And so, yeah, water storage areas we need to look at, the NFU needs to sort out and negotiate with the EA if we're going to get paid to store water. Are we going to help out managing rivers? Are we going to be insured to look after, clean our own dikes out, clean our own watercourses out, and obviously work in conjunction with them?
The Environment Agency told us since Storm Babet, we've been working with the National Farmers Union and the Internal Drainage Board to look at next steps. The Environment Agency has permissive powers only to carry out maintenance work on main rivers to reduce the risk and impact of flooding to people and property. This is not a legal requirement and needs to be prioritised due to limited funding. But back on Henry's farm, he's now looking at the option of being compensated for deliberate flooding to protect homes upstream, because he says the risk has become so great, it may be the only viable option to stop his business going under. Amelia Beckett, ITV News, Lincolnshire.